Hello student, in our last video we have seen the theory of first chapter, that is we have covered all theory of the first chapter. So in this video we will discuss some problems or the solution of the some problems. So let's start with the first problem. The first problem is the determine angular divergence if the radius of the surface is 6.96 into 10 to the power 8 meter and mean earth sun distance is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. This is the given problem. Now in that problem we have to find the angular divergence, that means delta theta, and we have the value of radius of the sun, that is the sun surface, which is the 6.96 into 10 to the power 8 meter, and also we have mean earth sun distance, and which is the 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. So first we write the given quantities. Therefore the radius of the sun capital R equal to 6.96 into 10 to the power 8 meter, and the mean earth sun distance is small r equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Now we have the radius of the sun and the mean earth sun distance. From that we have to calculate the angular divergence, that is the delta theta. So we know that the formula for the angular divergence is given by delta theta equal to 2r divided by small r. So here capital R is the radius of the sun, that is the radius of the sun surface, and which is given, and small r is the mean earth sun distance, and which is also given. So from that we calculate the angular divergence, that is delta theta. So after substituting the value we get the equation delta theta is equal to 2 into capital R is the 6.96 into 10 to the power 8 divided by small r, which is the 1.5 into 10 to the power 11. So after doing calculation we will get the value of delta theta, which is equal to 9.38 into 10 to the power minus 3, and this value is in the radian. This is the angle, that is the angular divergence, and which is in the radiant. But suppose if we want to calculate the value in a degree and minute, so we have to convert the radian into degree or minute. So first we convert the radian into degree, and after that we convert the degree into minutes. So first consider delta theta equal to 9.38 into 10 to the power minus 3, which is in the radian. We have to convert it into degree, so multiply by 180 into divided by pi. So we will get this value in a degree. So delta theta equal to 9.38 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 180 divided by pi. The value of pi is the 3.14. So after doing calculation we will get the value of delta theta in a degree, and which is the 0.53 degree. This is the angular divergence in degree, that is the 0.53 degree, and this is the angular divergence in radian, which is the 9.38 into 10 to the power minus 3. So after that suppose we have to calculate the angular divergence in minute. So we know that 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Then we have to find the 0.5 degree is equal to how much minute. So 0.53 degree is equal to how much minute. Suppose we consider this as a x. So after cross multiply we will get the value x is equal to x into 1 degree, which is equal to 60 minute into 0.53 degree. So x is equal to 60 into 0.53, and which is in the minute. So x is equal to, after doing the multiplication, we will get the value is 31.8 and which is nearly equal to 32. So the value of x is equal to 32 minute. This is the angular divergence, that is the delta theta is equal to 32 minute. This is the angular divergence in a minute. So we calculate the angular divergence in 3 different units, that is in a radian, in a degree and in minute. So in this way we have 3 different value in 3 different units. This is the angular divergence and we have to calculate the angular divergence. So this is the angular divergence. This is the first problem. Now the second problem is what is the air mass when zenith angle is a 60 degree? That is the, we know that what do you mean by the air mass and the zenith angle, which is seen in our last video. So the air mass, we have to calculate the air mass, that is a capital AM, and we have the value of zenith angle. Suppose for zenith angle we denote theta z and which is the 60 degree. Now we know that the relationship between the air mass and the zenith angle, which is, that is the, we have the relationship between air mass and zenith angle and which is the theta z. So air mass equal to sec of theta z, that is, we have seen our last video, the air mass is equal to secant of zenith angle. Therefore we write air mass is equal to secant of theta z, that is sec of theta z, where theta z is the zenith angle, capital AM is the air mass. So in a problem we have the value of zenith angle and which is the 60 degree. So we substitute the value of this zenith angle here and we will get the value of air mass. So after substituting we get the air mass equal to sec of theta z. Theta z is the 60 degree. So air mass equal to, we know that the sec theta is the inverse of cos theta. So we write this like 1 over cos 60 degree. That means we know that sec theta equal to 1 over cos theta. Sec theta equal to 1 over cos theta. From that we write like this. So we know that the cos 60, air mass equal to cos 60 is the 0.5. So after doing calculation, or we know that the 0.5, we can write 0.5 as a half. So air mass is equal to 2. So this is the air mass. That means if we have the value of zenith angle, then we calculate the value of air mass, and air mass is different for different cases, such as when sun is at zenith. For extraterrestrial radiation, we see this in last video, that is the air mass has a different value like a 0, 1, 2, 3, but in this problem we have the zenith angle is a 60 degree. For that the air mass is the 2. So this is the second problem. Now we see next problem, that is third problem, and which is the, if sun surface radiate heat at 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square, calculate the temperature of the sun assuming it to be a black body, and given the value of sigma is a sigma equal to 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin raised to 4. This is the problem. Now in this problem we have the sun surface radiate, that is the heat emitted by the sun surface, or the sun surface radiates the heat, that is 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square, and also we have the value of sigma, that is the 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin raised to 4, and we want to calculate the temperature of the sun. Now first we write the given quantities. So given is the, if the sun's surface radiates heat 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square, so we have the value of Hs, which is equal to 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square, and we want to calculate the temperature of the sun. So the temperature of the sun, let's say capital T, which is equal to question mark. So, and we have the value of the sigma, that is sigma is equal to 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin raised to 4, or watt meter raised to minus 2 Kelvin raised to minus 4. This is the given quantities, and from that we have to calculate the temperature of the sun. Now, but in a problem we have assuming it to be a black body, that is assume that the sun is a black body. Then we know that for black body, according to Stephen's Boltzmann law, that is Hs equal to sigma into T raised to 4, that is the radiated power from the sun is directly proportional to the fourth power of the temperature. Now where T is the temperature of the sun, sigma is the Stephen-Boltzmann constant, and we have the value of this, and also we have the value of Hs, that is the radiated power by the sun, or the total radiation leaving from the sun, which is the Hs. So from that we rearrange the equation for T, so we get T raised to 4, which is equal to Hs divided by sigma. Now T is equal to Hs divided by sigma raised to 1/4. So we have Hs, we have sigma. After substituting the value, we will get the value of T. Now substitute the value, that is T is equal to Hs. Hs is the 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 divided by sigma. Sigma is the 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 8, and the 1/4 power of it. After doing calculation, we will get the value of this quantity, that is the 6.3 into 10 to the power 7 divided by 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 8, and the value of this is the 0.11052 into 10 to the power 16 and raised to 1/4. Now after doing calculation, after taking the 1/4 power of this value, so we will get the value is T is equal to 5765.89 Kelvin. This is the temperature, so it is in Kelvin, or we can write also T is equal to 5.8 into 10 to the power 3 Kelvin. This is the sun temperature. Now in this problem we have the value of sigma and the Hs, that means the energy radiated from the sun, or the solar radiation emitted from the sun, that is the Hs, and we have the value of sigma, that is the Stephen constant. From that we calculate the temperature of the sun. But when the sun is a black body, that means we use in this problem the Stephen-Boltzmann law, and from that we calculate the value of the temperature. This is the third problem. Now the next problem is the problem fourth. The solar radiation intensity leaving the surface of the sun is 5.961 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square, and radius of the sun surface is 6.960 into 10 to the power 8 meter. If the sun emits radiation typically, then determine the radiant flux crossing through the surface, and the given value is the mean earth sun distance, and which is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. This is our problem, and In this problem we have to calculate the radiant flux crossing the surface, that is H naught. Let's say H naught. This we want to calculate. Now we have the value of the solar radiation intensity leaving the surface of the sun, that is Hs, as we seen in above problem, that is Hs is equal to 5.961 into 10 to the power 7 watt per meter square. This is the given value. Now after that, the radius of the sun, that is the capital R, which is equal to 6.960 into 10 to the power 8 meter. This is the radius of the sun, and we have to calculate the radiant flux crossing the surface. Also we have the value of mean earth sun distance, that is the small r is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. So from that we want to calculate the value of H0, that is the radiant flux crossing the surface. Now we know that we seen the derivation of the solar constant. In that we have seen the when the we calculate first the total radiation which leaving the sun surface according to the Stephan constant, and after that we multiply by it by the surface area of the sun, so that we will get the total radiant power, and after that we calculate the radiant flux which crossing the surface, that is the we consider the some distance, that is the r, and which is the distance between the earth and sun. For that we calculate the radiant flux crossing the surface, and which is the 4 pi r square. So from that we will get the formula, then this formula we use here directly. So the radiant flux crossing the surface, that is 4 pi r square. Surface area of that surface is given by H0 equal to capital R square divided by small r square into Hs. Here capital R is the radius of the sun and small r is the mean earth sun distance, and Hs is the solar radiation intensity leaving the surface of the sun, and we have the all values, that is the Hs, R, capital R, small r. After substituting the values and doing the calculation, we will get the value of H0. Now substitute the values, that is H0 equal to capital R is the 6.960 into 10 to the power 8 bracket square, that is the because of there is a r square, and small r is the 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 bracket square into Hs. The value of Hs is the 5.961 into 10 to the power 7. Now after doing calculation we will get the value of H0. Therefore the value of H0 is the 97.11 watt per meter square. This is the value of H0. That is the H0 means the radiant flux crossing the surface, and the surface is the 4 pi r square. We derive this formula in solar constant derivation, and therefore we directly use it from that derivation. So this is the value of H0. When we have the value of capital R, that is the radius of the sun, small r, that is the mean earth sun distance, and the value of Hs. Hs means the solar radiation intensity leaving the surface of the sun, then we calculate the radiant flux crossing the surface. Now this is the fourth problem, and these all are the problem are on a chapter first, that is the depends on the concept solar constant, air mass, zenith angle, and the radiation intensity, and all this derivation. So this is all about the first chapter. So in our next video we will start with the second chapter, that is the photothermal applications.